We've got a big event coming up, of course. It's September the 3rd, which is an event you want to be at the Dove Fest out at the amphitheater at the Expo Center. Now, Jeremy Camp is one of 5 who are going to be performing along with Mercy Me, Crowder, Family Force 5, and Salvador. We've never had this particular 5 band and singer lineup, but we are September 3rd, so you want to mark that down on your calendar. You can go to thedove.us and find out more. With us is Jeremy Camp to talk a little bit about what he's been doing lately. Jeremy, we've had you in concert. I'm trying to think how many times now. I know it was like 8-10 years ago that you first started coming. We've had you here, at least I can remember, 3 times in the Medford area. There are so many concerts between then and now, you probably don't remember it, but you're inside the Compton Arena. Have you been out at the amphitheater outdoors yet?
No, that's the first time, so I'm really excited. And I love coming Northwest anyway, so it's exciting for me.
Well, you know, this is going to be a great concert venue. It's one of my favorite places for about 5,000 people outdoors, and the weather should be beautiful, and it's a great sonic experience, really. It's really set up nice, so it'll be good to have you here. So, wow, where do we start with all of this? You're always touring, aren't you? I mean, you're always on the road, it seems.
I am actually. Here's the thing. I'm the type of person where I feel like when I know God's called me to do something, I just do it 100% full bore. You know, and with my family too, you know, we've taken them on the road with us a lot. So last year they were on the road probably 50% of the time because we used to homeschool. And then this year is the first year my kids have actually gone into school. And so it's kind of a different change. I'll probably start to slow down a little bit because my kids are in school. But yeah, I mean, I'm kind of an all or nothing guy. If the Lord's calling me to do it, I'm going to go 100% with all my heart. So yeah, I tour a lot.
Traveling on the road with kids is difficult. How old are they now?
So my oldest is 12.
Whoa.
And then my 12-year-old daughter, 10-year-old daughter, and then my son is 5.
Well, that takes on a whole different dynamic, doesn't it? That's amazing.
Oh, absolutely. Which is crazy because I'm 22 years old, you know, so.
I think that's how old you were when you first started coming here, so that's good. Okay, so let me get the Jeremy Camp modus operandi. Do you fly places on weekends? Do you go by bus? What is it, a tour thing? What do you do normally?
So, you know, in the spring and the fall are normally tours, and we'll hop on the bus and we'll just do, you know, Thursday through Sunday, and then we're home. And then summers are all kind of festivals and fairs, kind of what we're doing here. And we're all flying out. All my guys are flying out. We have a 4-show run in Northwest, and then my production truck will actually drive from Nashville to Oregon, which is crazy. Yeah, so for me, it's definitely one of those things where I'm learning to balance my time better as my kids are into school. So
I would imagine, yeah, that kind of does change a few things that way. So is this at the end of your summer tour season then? Are we getting up to that?
We have about one more weekend after this, and then I actually start the tour, which is crazy.
Wow. All right. How many albums do you have out now?
9.
When you started this, did you ever think you'd have an interview like this where you say, I've done 9 interviews, I'm still on the road, I'm still touring after all these years?
No, it's great. Honestly, I mean this from the bottom of my heart. It's very humbling because I think when I first started, you know, I went through so much in my life, and, you know, a lot of you guys know my story, you know, losing my first wife to cancer. And I just was happy to go out and to share for whatever season God had me. And so now, you know, 14 years later, I'm still out and I'm still sharing the gospel. I'm still sharing about what God's doing. He's giving me fresh songs, giving me fresh words of things that he's teaching me. My kids are growing up, and I'm really thankful. I think, honestly, I mean this from the bottom of my heart. I'm more excited about what I'm doing than ever before. And I think that's what, for me, is exciting because I've done it for so long that you would think, okay, starting to wane down the excitement. Not at all, because I see what God's doing. I see that people are getting saved, people's lives are being changed, and I'll keep doing this, you know, until that day.
Yeah, that's great. September 3rd, of course, Dove Fest. Jeremy's going to be a part of that. You said you have some new songs. Are we going to hear some new things you're going to be singing on stage?
Oh, absolutely. Absolutely. Tons of new songs. So, and the cool thing is I'll play some of my old songs that people know. But there's been so much that's been going on that I want to share kind of the newness and the freshness of what's happening. It's honestly, it's a lot. I mean, as you grow older, you know, you mature and you walk with the Lord, and God continues to give you fresh new insight, new things that he's doing. And so, yeah, I'll be playing definitely some new songs.
Wow, that's great. Are these songs you've written, or do you have songwriters you collect from, or what?
No, I usually write. If I do go with somebody else. It's actually a songwriter that I write a song with. But I don't usually generally take songs that I don't write, because I like to be personally invested in the song. And so when I share about it, it's, something God's been doing in my heart, and to be with bands like, Bart does that too, from Mercy Me and Crowder, and to be with those guys that's their life. I mean, they write their songs and they share, in depth what God's doing, and there's a freshness to it. So I think it's going to be an amazing night. I love, Family Force 5 are fun. Those guys crack me up, and they were so sweet. We were on tour with them last year, and they, at the end of the tour, they all bought my daughters and my son little jean jackets that said Family Force 5 on them. And so, it was special because they cared about my family being on the road, and my family, because of that, because some people don't know how to take their antics on stage. They're great guys. That's just part of how God's called them to be used in their music. And they've been really thoughtful with the people that they're on tour with. And everybody, Mercy Me, Crowder, love him. So it's going to be exciting.
Did you say your family is going to be with you this tour or not?
Not this one, which I'm bummed out, because our favorite place to be is Oregon, actually. So we were going to plan this whole big trip to Oregon, and then God told us to put the kids into school. We have a Christian school that they're going to, and so they're already in school, so they can't come.
If I was in Ohio, would you have said the same thing?
Probably not.
Well, no, you should. The next interview you do in Ohio, you tell them Oregon's your favorite place. So that's exactly. A good thing. Yeah. Let me ask you, in all the years, 9 albums, how many years have you been, would you say, singing as I don't want to say as a business, but as your career? Yeah. How long has that been?
Well, I was signed about 14 and a half years ago, but I've been doing it for about 16 and a half years. So, it's the majority of my life.
Think back at that time at the beginning to where you are now. What has changed with you and your music? Honestly, you can go everywhere from God's given me a gift, and so I want to do the best I can with the gift He's given me. And so, of course, spiritually, I've grown a lot. So you're going to hear different depth in the lyrics. I've had a family now that's growing up, and so I've learned a lot about that. And then, of course, on the practical side, musically, I felt like that I've worked really hard to make it fresh and relevant for today. Vocally, I feel like I've worked really hard to make my voice better and better and better. I don't want to just sit back and go, I can just do what I did, 14 years ago. I want to keep progressing. And so I feel like that spiritually, musically, vocally, all of that has increased dramatically. You listen to my first record to now, it's a big difference. And that's a good thing, because that's what I'm going to continue to do throughout the years. So, I have something that just while you were talking about that and the changes and everything that have happened, here's a concept I want you to think about. And you need to name 3 other people you would sing with in this scenario. Okay. Let's say we had a traveling Wilburys of Christian artists, okay? So you got a great producer, and you would like to sing with these people and make an album. If there were 3 other guys, just like they had Jeff Lynne from ELO, Bob Dylan, Tom Petty, George Harrison, if we had Jeremy Camp, who would be 3 others? Not that others you don't name wouldn't be a part of that, but who would you like to be a part of? Who would that be?
Probably Phil Wickham. I love Phil Wickham. Lauren Daigle, for sure. She's amazing. And honestly, probably, I would say Bart from Mercy Me. So those are probably the 3, which we do a lot with Bart anyway. But those are kind of some of my favorite vocalists. Female-wise, Lauren, just the realness and the grit of her voice, and then Phil, just his crazy range, and then Bart, just of course his diversity and versatility. Those are the people probably I'd love to travel with in that type of environment.
I talked to Margaret Becker years ago, and she did something similar to that with Out of the Gray, Christine Dente, and a third one. I don't remember who that third one was. I'm sorry, but it's just off the top of my mind. But I thought it was a great kind of a unique blending of voices, and it was a real nice variety because you got to hear different ones like that. Is the music industry geared up to do that kind of thing where they may do a mix and match or a mashup with different artists? Because I think that could be kind of a cool thing.
Yeah, I think that it's in need of it, actually. I think that, we're a body, of believers, of artists, of ministers that, have been doing this for a long time. And I think there's a need for us to show that, because we all love each other. We're all in unity. So I think there's a need to show that, like the unity of saying, let's all come together and use our voices together to lift up the name of Jesus. So yeah, absolutely. I think that would be amazing. And I think that the Christian industry would want that too, because I think there needs to be something like that. So I'm going to take your idea.
I think you should. Be sure you give me credit for that. You know what?
Yeah, exactly.
But just looking at this also with Mercy Me, Jeremy Camp, Crowder, Family Force 5, Salvador, I mean, I could almost see not a We Are the World kind of a thing, but, you know, at the end of it, a song that everybody knows about that you could sing like a line to or whatever. I know that takes more planning than what we're saying here.
Really,
but that the audience could also be a part of, too, even if it's a new version of an older hymn or praise and worship song or something. That'd be kind of a cool thing. But I don't know.
Good idea.
It's
No, I love
it's a top-of-mind thing. I'm thinking you guys have the instruments and you're singers, so why not just do it? We've got a stage. There you go.
Fully agree.
All right, we just got about a minute left. We're talking with Jeremy Camp. He's going to be part of Dove Fest, of course. That's coming up September 3rd at the Expo Amphitheater. It actually starts at 2 p.m. and then goes into the evening because we've got so many of these great artists there. One final thing, what would you say to people who maybe they're hearing about this for the first time? Why should they come and hear this wonderful group of people?
Well, for one, I think that, I think everyone loves music, so that's kind of a given. Now, I think with the diversity of the styles of music, I think if you come, you're going to like something in the night. You know what I mean? One of the artists, a couple of the artists, you're going to enjoy. I think you'll enjoy all of them, but I'm just saying if you don't like a certain style, you're going to enjoy something in the night. And I think just coming together as believers and to lift up the name of Jesus. I think right now we have freedom in our country to worship the Lord, freedom in our country to come together freely to gather as believers. And I think that let's take every opportunity we have to do that, because who knows in 5 years what it's going to look like. And not to be weird, but who knows in 5 years what it's going to look like. And I think that we need to take every opportunity and not take it for granted, but take advantage of it in a good way. So
great. Hey, Jeremy Camp, thanks for being with us. Appreciate it.
Thank you for having me. I appreciate it.
Get your tickets, Jeremy Camp at the Expo Amphitheater, and that'll be Saturday, September 3rd. We will see you there, and we'll be back with more Focus today. Thanks, Jeremy.
Thank you.
I'm Paulina Leiser, producer of Focus Today. Thank you for watching this video, and make sure to check our other videos at thedove.us.